4 Steps to the Infinite, where logic meets the divine. After an enlightening dialogue with the aged sage, a newfound fervor stirred within the youth's heart. All he had previously observed and comprehended in nature now took on a deeper meaning. Yet the fire of inquiry within him remained unquenched. Understanding the distinction between the senses and the intellect, and grasping the functions of theoretical and practical reason, had brought him to a new juncture: the need to know the Creator. He turned gently to the sage and asked, "O Master, now that I understand the intellect as the tool for perceiving truth, and action as the path to manifesting it, how might I come to know God? Can this very intellect lead me to Him?" The sage smiled, his gaze piercing as if traversing the depths of time, and replied, "My child, you have stepped onto the path of light. But knowing God is a journey in which the intellect traverses 4 stations. Now is the time for you to seek a great scholar, a man of divine knowledge, who sits in a majestic mosque among his wise companions, teaching the recognition of God. He shall guide you to the path of truth." With a heart full of longing, the youth bid the sage farewell and set out for the mosque he had described, a grand structure with towering columns and stained glass windows that cast colorful patterns on the floor as sunlight streamed through. A group of thoughtful, eager students sat in a circle around a venerable teacher, whose calm yet penetrating voice filled the sacred space. The youth settled into a corner and listened. The scholar, with a resonant voice and eloquent words, began. The great scholar: "O seekers of truth, know that the human intellect traverses 4 stages in the journey to know God Almighty. The first stage is what we call attentiveness to the origin of creation. Here, one turns to the existence of the Creator of the cosmos, nurturing within the heart a conviction in the divine author of existence. This awareness of creation's origin is not merely implanted in the human mind through instruction. Were that the case, the innate yearning that has drawn all peoples and nations toward recognizing and worshiping God would never have attained such universality and profundity. If knowledge of God depended solely on teaching, it would resemble a specialized discipline, like astronomy, accessible only to a select few, while others remain deprived. Yet the truth is that from the dawn of human history, every person has inherently sensed the need to worship a Creator. This inner feeling is rooted in the intellect's perception, an intellect that discerns the necessity of a wise Creator for this universe, so full of order and purpose. The scholar cast his eyes over his students and continued, "Though the intellect leads one to conclude that the world cannot exist without a Creator, know that comprehending the precise essence of the divine transcends the intellect's capacity. The intellect succeeds in affirming God's necessary existence, but in grasping the reality of His essence, due to its inherent limitations, it requires the guidance of revelation and divine direction." Early human communities, though they felt the need to worship a Creator and recognized His existence through rational intuition, often erred in applying this knowledge. Limited by their intellects, they conflated the Creator with His creations. Hence, true recognition of the Creator necessitates a divine guide and proof. The scholar concluded solemnly, "Yet attributing existence to the Creator and affirming God's being are among the clearest and most self-evident truths to the human mind. This reality requires no complex argumentation. Just as light is self-evident to one with sight, God's existence is plain and manifest to every sound intellect and awakened heart. This attentiveness to the origin of creation is the first step on the path to knowing God, a step every human, whether scholar or simpleton, finds etched into the depths of their being. The youth's reflection. As the youth listened, he felt a new light glowing within his heart. He now understood that his intellect was not merely a tool for comprehending nature, but a ladder to ascend toward the truth of creation. He whispered inwardly, "Now I see that God's presence resides in the depths of my soul, and this attentiveness to creation's origin is the first door opened to divine knowledge." With a heart ablaze and a clarified mind, the youth resolved to walk this luminous path. He embarked on a spiritual journey, beginning with the intellect and culminating in the light of ultimate truth.